Here we have 3 bullet point great topics for you. The importance of regular posting, right? Stewart, enlighten us in terms of why it is that we should be posting on a regular basis.
I most certainly will do. Just quickly for everybody, we've had a bit of confusion with going from British summertime to GMT. So we're going to be, rather than it's going to be midday, it's going to be 11 a.m. GMT, because that works with Antonio in the Caribbean. So sorry for any confusion, or if we're a bit late, if you miss it, but it is a recording, so no problems there. So the importance of regular posting. Basically, if you don't post, nobody's going to know you're there. So that's the whole point. You need to post, but you need to post anything to start with and then gradually build it up. The importance of regular posting is so that people see you. Now, it might be, as I used to do maybe 2 to 3 per month, which is ridiculous, but they were quite detailed and went into, covered all sorts of things, but people waited for them. So that was sort of fine. And I used to get massive amounts of followings on them. But okay, that was great. That worked well. But then if you start doing it regularly, like more regularly, because they talked 2-3 times a week, I've gradually built that up from 2 to 3 times a month over the last 3 to 4 months to 2 to 3 times a week, to 3 to 4 times a week, and now sort of 5 times a week. As a result of that, I have been getting all sorts of different people coming on, commenting, getting DMs from them. And it's really quite shocked me, because I like to do things, I like to test the thing, the platform. You know, just because people have done research and they say you should do this, that, and the other, we don't all have to follow. We're not a bunch of sheep. So I like to do things in a good way and just try things out. So I tried it out, got some amazing engagement, did all sorts of things. But now I've found by constantly coming up there, this is the difficult bit for me, to try and hit it at my golden time. I've experimented. There's all sorts of stats on when you should post and when you shouldn't post. And I struggle to hit it every time. So I do find some dip and some peak. But I'm still getting all sorts of DMs coming in. It's great. The comments are very important, obviously. You know, when you first post, you think, oh, nobody likes me. Nobody's commenting. Then you get a like, then you get 2 likes. Then as you do it more and more and more, you get more comments. Then you get the DMs, and the DMs is where it all is. So yes. I keep changing things. I test things, as you know, but I'm now up to sort of 4 or 5 a week. It's having a big impact. So I recommend doing that. There's many more things to say about it, but first of all, increase your post, but do it gradually. Do not go 2 to 3 a month, 5 a week. Nothing, 5 a week, 1. That annoys the algorithm. Oddly, I heard something. I don't know if you know this. If you become inactive and don't post for a period of time, somebody was quoting 6 months, another one said 12 months. If you then start posting it, you could be a real regular poster, like yourself, Antonio. Then you stop 6 or 9 months. You go right back to the beginning, and you get 0 likes, 0 comments, and you have to build it up. So be regular, be consistent, and be consistent with what works for you. Could be 1 a week, could be 2 a week. Don't try for this 5 a week, because it is quite intense. But of course,
you mentioned about if it is that you are not on the platform posting for a period of 6 to 12 months, the reason for that, why when it is that you come back onto the platform and you start to post and the engagement will dip drastically, is that we have to take in consideration the Sales Navigator tool. With Sales Navigator, as you know, Stewart, with the AI intelligence that they give, which is the sale insights based on those who post within a 30-day period and also those who change job within a 90-day period. So we have to understand that with LinkedIn, it's 875 million people on the platform, and it don't have enough manpower working in LinkedIn to basically see each person, what they post, what they do not post, what is something that they should penalize them for. So the AI technology, they're watching, all right, if this person is inactive for a period of time, then after they consider you obsolete, like you are off the platform. So when you come back onto the platform and post, it's like you basically starting from scratch. So that is something really interesting. And personally, what I have done in terms of trial and error, I realized that on a Monday and a Friday is 2 days that is very low engagement. Also
Yeah.
Saturdays. So you have to know in terms of your territory what works for you or what won't work for you, because those people who have a lot of engagement, a lot of followers, they could post any day and they may not see a dip in engagement, right? But you have to wonder if they're really watching their metrics, because a dip could be you normally get 300 likes, but then after on those days you get 250 likes, but they
Yeah.
wouldn't be mindful of that. But what I realize is that why Monday is not great to post is because on a Monday, most persons they're trying to catch up on the workload that they have over the weekend, so they're not active on the platform. And on a Friday now is where it's the wind down day. Most people looking forward to the weekend, and you're not as active as a worker on a Friday, than any other day. So those are the 2 days I would say that is not a post, and Saturdays also too. We have to take in consideration not yourself but your audience. On a Saturdays where a lot of errands people have to do, that's the time that they may have free. So they utilize that time to maybe be on the road going out there. So they would not necessarily have that time to be going through LinkedIn to see what content is being produced. So always think about not you but your audience. And when you think so, then you're
Yeah.
posting engagements and impressions and also the video content in terms of the viewership will rise.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just looking at my stats as well, and I pretty
Mhm.
much agree with what you've said there. There's always
Thank
exceptions,
you.
but
Yeah.
in a nutshell, that those three in the middle are the important days. Tuesday,
So
Thursday probably being the better. But that's for my market, and it seems to concur with yours. But we're in a similar field, so
mhm.
you know, you know, could well be. It's interesting. You have to know what works for your audience. There's no point
Correct.
having loads of engagement and loads of comments and stuff if nothing's coming as a DM. That's
Hmm.
what you want. You're here to do whatever you want to do, but you need if you're after getting more business, well, then you need people to be contacting you.
Yeah. And what I would suggest that a coach do, don't just generically tell someone these are the best posting times, but try to understand the territory that they're in and try to
Yeah,
understand them and then give some sort of feedback that will be specific to them. Don't just give a generic posting time, because everybody is in different territories and it may work differently for each person. And we'll
that's
just
right.
like
And,
to.
and
Mhm,
and manipulating that feed as well so that you're getting the engagement, you're getting the right engagement from your target audience. I had one
mhm,
of lady come on and saying, well, look, I'm just not getting as many inquiries from America as I want. And that's my real new target market. And I said, well, okay, what would you say your overall engagement, is it with people from your own country or is it people from America? Oh, it's from my own country. Okay,
mhm,
well, if it's from your own country, but you're not interested in your company because your target audience is America, well, then
mhm,
you need to engage with people in America because it tells the algorithm it's not so much the people in my country, which might be Australia or wherever it is, it's the people in America.
mhm.
Right. Okay, good. You're engaging with people in America. Right. So it opens up the percentage of people that will see it, this
Mhm.
5 to 16% type thing will be in America. So, there's other things to consider, but you have to experiment, adapt, learn, move forward.
And that's the thing. And I always say LinkedIn is not like a certificate course that you will go in institution and do. LinkedIn comes like a degree or a master course, because you ever learning, you never not stop learning. Each day you learn something new, and it have a lot of people who have a lot of accolades behind their name, and still, Stuart, they do not understand this platform well. So it
Yeah.
just goes to show you that it is not an easy platform to learn. For someone who is a newbie coming onto LinkedIn, the interface is very challenging. It may serve you as such that you may say, this is not for me, because some people come on the platform and expect results within a manner of 3 to 4 months, and then sometimes they don't get the results, they fall off like flies.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn is a everyday learning process, and it's great because you could be able to network with people from any part of the world, and you are basically professionally developing yourself. So moving on, Stuart, to the
Yes.
next bullet point topic, what to post, which is crucial because content is something I always say that convert into leads, and then that leads based on the interaction that you have with them, whether it be virtual or physical interaction, will convert into sales opportunities. So what you would suggest that people should post on LinkedIn platform to achieve the results that they will desire?
Yeah, it is important to know where your focus is, because some people have a focus I don't understand. Well, in one respect, I can just to have followers. 10,000,
Mm-hmm.
100,000, a million followers. That's great. They work on the basis that if you've got that many, someone in there will be your golden connection and give you that brilliant business opportunity or whatever it might be. That's fine, but it's a bit like in sales. It's the scattergun approach. You just go
Mm-hmm.
in and fire stuff everywhere, and you might hit something that's successful, or
Mm-hmm.
you target it, and you should target it. So if you're in plumbing or electrical products or anything like that, what you should be posting on is things within your market. So electrical products or plumbing products and the advantages of them, the advantages of yours within that field, and why yours are better than the company here and the company there.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're building yourself up as an authoritative voice. And if you become an authoritative voice, they think, well, actually, he does know what he's talking about. So for us, we're LinkedIn people. So you need to be sharing LinkedIn content
Mm-hmm.
because we actually does know what he's talking about. Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important. And it can be just the benefits of your product, but it could be tips within the market. I don't know. If we were taking plumbing, there might be a certain way to plumb up a boiler, which
Mm-hmm.
is different. It's revolutionary. They're trying it. In the UK, boilers have now gone into the loft. They always used to be like in the kitchen or in a big cupboard, which you call the airing cupboard, I think, and you'd have the hot water and everything in there. But now
Yeah.
it's somewhere else. So it's new. So you need to educate people that it's new. So that's what you should be doing really in your posts.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a balance as well. It's not just all boring talking about the market. You need to talk about a little bit about you. And we've discussed this before, Antonio, that Sundays and the weekends, you can be more personal in what you put
Yes.
in.
Mm-hmm.
Just showing that you're a normal human being. You're not a robot
Yes.
that's churning
Correct.
out stuff about radiators or whatever it might be. We don't want to get it like some of the other platforms. So it doesn't want to go too far down that road. But, it's just getting that balance.
And Jessa said content audience matching. I'm not too sure what she. Yeah.
I think she means your target audience. You need to supply them with what they need to hear. You have a solution to the problem that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a website developer or a building company or a roofer or whatever, supply information that is pertinent to your target audience. You've decided who you want to target, and just make sure that it solves a solution for them. Is the solution for them? It solves the problem they have.
Definitely. And you mentioned something greatly that we spoke about. On a Sunday or over the weekend, you could be more personal, but during the week, you could be more business oriented because obviously being on this platform is either you here to network, either you here to professionally develop yourself and gain businesses going forward, whether it be with individuals or brands itself. So during the week, you want to be in that business oriented content direction. And over the weekend, you could be more personal because at the end of the day, that's why reality TV shows are so tremendous and so seeked by individuals because it's like, yes, we know Kim Kardashian, Stewart. However, we want to know behind the scenes what Kim Kardashian does when she's home with her family, the Kardashians family. So in that way, on a weekend, you now could provide that personal content where you may go to the beach, you may hang out with your family, and you could showcase this so people now buy into you and say, okay, despite that this person might be professional within their field, they are also a family person, a loving person, a kind person, and that resonates with people because at the end of the day, the simple and basic rule is that people buy from people who they like, trust, and who they see as someone who could add value into their lives, which is most crucial.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Something just went through my brain now that, because we've had the pandemic, so people have been working remotely and what have you. Now people are going back in the UK 2 to 3 days a week as a general sort of rule. So they're in offices. So, okay, I think companies now are realizing that their staff, I'm talking about big companies, their staff need to have a personal brand and a presence on LinkedIn.
Yes.
That's good. So, they see that they're okay, if they're watching us, they can see something about LinkedIn, or if they're reading a post and they can see, oh, it's something about LinkedIn, they think, oh, okay, that's good. But I'm just thinking, if it's a personal thing, and you imagine you're walking into an office with loads of people in it, and you look at their screen, and there's something going on about, a horse jumping around a field or something, or some guy playing golf or whatever, and then he turns around and he says something. They think, well, hang on, that's a bit personal, isn't it? What are they watching? Are they on YouTube or something? So it's because it's not business, is it? If you just imagine a manager walking into an office and seeing stuff, it's an interesting balance. I'd like to know people that are in large organisations what their view is for their staff spending time on LinkedIn.
And you see, what I would say about that, Stuart, especially for myself who've been in sales, is that people buy from you. Yes, you represent a company. I represent Stewart Distributors Limited, right? We sell janitorial and chemical products, and also we go into the business solution aspect where it is that we have software to better companies going forward. And what I would say is that people buy from you, right? Yes, you representing a company so that you have to be most professional. But when you leave an organization, you leave with your customers, right? And they already resonated with you. So building that personal brand now, it helps the company, build a prestigious look that if it is that this person is employed within the organization, this company has to be a great company. So that means now, like someone who is looking to come at that company, to work for that company, they may be more enticed to work for that company. And then in essence too, the turnover rate might be low, than actual, because a lot of people, they watch certain things. They watch how a company treat their workers. They watch obviously how the company pays, and also they watch the turnover of the company in terms of the employees. So these things are very crucial, and I would say that a company must have persons, indulging them to build their personal brand, because that will develop them to sell more and also to market themselves more and make the company look very tremendous.
Yeah, no, it's just, I just think we're in a transition bit at the minute from, remote working to semi going back into offices, and I just find it interesting if anybody has a view on it.
And lastly, Stuart, algorithm update. This is
Yeah.
something very crucial, because if it is we do not understand the algorithm, then after, when it is that our engagements, viewership, impressions dip, we would know what to do. We will think it's us, but not realizing the algorithm has changed and we have to follow by LinkedIn's policies and procedures. So what
Absolutely.
do you have to tell the audience about the new LinkedIn algorithm change?
Absolutely. The first thing I would say is don't worry about, this sounds opposite what you said, but don't worry about the algorithm. Don't get embroiled about the algorithm. Don't try and understand the algorithm, because you won't. But there are people that study it. And this particular study, this is year 4. It's the same people doing it. And they have a very comprehensive way of analyzing it. And they've looked at, if you can believe this, over the last 4 months, they've looked at 10,000 posts. It's taken them 1,200 hours of analysis.
Whoa.
And they have come up with 188 totally new facts over and above where we were last year. Now, there's a massive, great report, and I know you've seen it, Antonio. I don't recommend sharing that necessarily with the end user, because you think, oh my God, there's still too much. I just want to make a post. I just want to try and build my brand. But what we will do, and certainly what I 100% will do, I will share the pertinent bits that I think resonate with my target audience every week in my posts. So there'd just be, some key facts within there. There's things like, we always talk about dwell time, how long you spend on a post. That's really important. Well, that's lessened now. They've changed the type of posts that you do have different effects on how many impressions you're going to get. The key thing is engagement, and it used to be the first hour, first 2 hours, possibly 3 hours, and there's another bubble over here. But they're really saying it's now tuned down a wee bit to about it's the first 90 minutes, basically. So it's important to get some engagement within that bit. But don't get too bogged down in it. We will share it in small bite-sized pieces.
And what I will say also too with the linking algorithm, with the change, is that it will affect people's posts going forward, because if it is that you do not know what to post, and like for example hashtags, I still seen people posting minimum hashtags and also going over the amount of hashtags. For example, it's 3 to 5 hashtags that you should be posting per particular content. And this is something that I'm not sure people are aware of. Let's say you post content on marketing, right? So your first hashtag should be hashtag marketing, because that first hashtag would align to your content and the other hashtags could follow suit. So at the end of the day, I always say that in everything that you do, you must have structure. So you have that marketing content, and then the first hashtag is hashtag marketing. So that hashtag will resonate with the content, which will equal you to get more viewership. And going a bit further, always try to maintain a personal hashtag. So for example, I have hashtag Antonio Prescott content, because with your personal hashtag, that can help you to gain more engagement, because the more people follow you is the more engagement that you will get, because they now will be able to see your content besides the ringing of the bell, which we know, Stewart, is an awesome feature. But if you have 1,000 people following your personal hashtag, the chances that they're missing your content and also ringing your bell, it's unbelievable. So these are the things we want to implement in order to build ourselves on this platform. And remember that the content that you are providing, it should be educational, entertaining, and inspiring. And once it is you follow with these 3 things here, then after you could be in a much better place, because then now you would not be boring with your content. It's not just about education, but it have times you're inspiring, and other times that you are entertaining.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think my sort of sign off for the week, if you like, would be that in order to grow on this platform and do it in the right way, I spend an awful lot of time studying things, and I would recommend, if you want to pick up some tips on how to do things, this is all for free. Click to follow me, click the bell on your profile, same with Antonio. Also, I have a hashtag, which is Stewart Says, because he's always talking. So Stewart Says. But it's a way it's always in my post. So it means that if you follow that, you've got more chance of triggering the algorithm to make sure some of my stuff is in your feed. And if you follow my company, LinkedIn with the Edge, again, that's 4 things you can follow, which gives you 4 times the chance of getting my stuff in your feed, which I hope will be a benefit to you. So thank you, everybody. Sorry, confusion over this British Summertime GMT, but we will be back at 11 a.m. GMT in 2 weeks' time, and 2 weeks after.
Yeah, definitely. So bi-weekly, these events will be hosting between myself and Stewart, linking updates. Thank you very much for those who watching us live. Those on the replay, type hashtag team replay, so you'll know that is you watching the replay. Do have an enjoyable and productive day. Be safe. Sign out.
Take care, everyone.